baby.
It's going to be Lucian mid, so this is pretty hype. So it wasn't the double marksman in the way that I was mentioning, the Graves, but Lucian as a solo lane is something that is absolutely popping off in solo queue. Since he has gotten those buffs, it has been so popular. A lot of people were expecting that we would see a tremendous amount of it in 10-16, even as a potential triple flex, top, bot, and mid. We have not been seeing that, but we are getting Damonte with this last pick. Lucian here. We'll see if he can get things going for himself against Jensen, because you do have the ability to snowball a game here, and it also kind of fits the profile as far as covering some of the weaknesses of the Senna, who's relatively low on DPS but high on burst. The Lucian can kind of play that more standard marksman role. That being said, TL, I think their bot lane hard wins 2v2. I think Braum is just the most checkmated against that kind of a lane where Morgana can just black shield the actual passive stun itself, so it's very difficult to go for all-ins. You're always going to get pushed. Ashe can then hit you with free volley poke under the turret, so that is troubling. And also, they have very good scaling from the Ornn up on the top side, so we'll see how much Golden Guardians can get done and if they can win 2v2s around mid lane. Because Lillia, compared to the Lee Sin, I would expect the Lee Sin in most standard fights to have a lot more power in that 2v2. So even if you can win the 1v1, if you lose the jungle matchup, then we may not see Damonte being able to go aggressive in that mid lane.
Yeah, Broxah was kind of beating up Hauntzer's Lillia in the last game whenever they found themselves in a 1v1. So it certainly feels like Broxah can handle the jungle version of the champion. But Golden Guardians have thrown down the aggressive gauntlet in mid lane for Damonte. No more Ziggs, no more Zoe, none of this poke around roam champions. Damonte is taking press the attack, ignite, and he's looking to smack down Jensen. Very bold, I will certainly say. But Damonte kind of came up known for his assassins and his aggressive play. Lucian is probably the extreme end of aggressive mid laners you can pick right now, and Damonte is looking to tussle.
He is. He's really looking to try to get aggressive, to try to create an enormous advantage with this pick. And he's only played it twice in his entire career in competitive play. He is a 1-1 record there. So it's not as though it has been a mainstay for him, but I am certain that he would be playing a lot in solo queue. I think basically every professional solo laner is playing it a lot in solo queue right now because it has some very, very strong matchups. He has gone PTA, but this is a pretty volatile matchup. If you can actually dodge out from some of the chains there from Jensen, if you can be playing on that front foot, you can win out on some of these trades pretty hard, and Lucian can take over in a game like this.
I also really like that Jensen is matching some of that volatility by also taking Ignite himself, right? LeBlanc often takes Teleport, which is a perfectly good Teleport champion, but this is a matchup where, especially in the 2v2, if the jungle and mids are going to meet up early, where Jensen would be very happy to have Ignite here, especially because he knows that Damonte is going to come after him. So Ashe here for FBI and huhi onto closer. He's going to be zipping through the jungle. This is the other thing I know about Lillia jungle, is that she is real quick when it comes to clearing.
Very, very good, especially with the AoE camps. Lee Sin, we saw cleared that just about as fast as Closer did without a leash. So as far as the single target stuff, Broxah is going to be doing really, really well. But when it comes to those AoE camps, the Wolves, the Krugs, the Raptors, you're going to be looking pretty good there. And as far as the 2v2 goes, a lot of it's about the CC. If Jensen can actually land the chains, guarantee Broxah to come through with that Q, then that is going to be very, very powerful. There's no real CC over on the side of this Lucian and Lillia. Yes, post 6, there is a potential for that sleep, but in general, they are going to be having to try to avoid the skill shots from TL, and if you can avoid the chains, avoid the Q from Broxah, then you can have potential to win that. But as expected, FBI and huhi probably going to be seeing a lot of their turret this game, to be honest with you. I just think that you pretty much guaranteed to have the push with Ashe, who's going to be able to throw out those volleys, obviously AoE, and also you hit the enemy with the volley, that procs lethal tempo, that gives you the attack speed to shove forward. Nice trade there, though, from Damonte, getting aggressive.
Yep, no avoiding of the puddle in bot lane, sadly. CoreJJ just pushing things along, much like huhi's Karma was doing in the last matchup, just Wing the champions and the minions to soften them up so the push can happen always. Mid lane, though, I do see Closer in the area, but Tactical going to get rooted up here as Jensen was a target. But no sleep available, of course, because Lillia needs to be level 6, so Damonte just going to get a little bit of assistance before the junglers back away.
And those are just nice ganks to go for, right? Even if you get just a little bit of damage down, I think it's very well worthwhile because it's not a teleport mid laner. So, you know, even just chunking them, as long as you're not investing a ton of time, and he was just doing a full clear over basically, well, he still has his Krugs, but, you know, 5 clear into Scuttle. So he's just walking by mid lane, throwing a Swirl Seed, and then going right back to farming. Broxah is spending a lot more time around this mid lane. You know, he has kind of skipped those AoE camps of the Krugs as well as the Raptors, and he's looking to get things done, but he's actually spotted by that vision plant that I believe huhi procced down from bot lane. So that's what looked like happened on the minimap there. You know, excuse me if I'm seeing that wrong, but you know, nice play from huhi if that is in fact correct.
I mean, what else are you gonna do? You know, gonna be trapped under the tower here. Although right now the lane is actually meeting in the middle. Impact is on top of Hauntzer, but here comes Closer to start spinning Impact. He's seen this one before and he doesn't like it at all. Eep him, Closer. There we go. It's first blood for Hauntzer.
Oh, watch out. Eep. There it comes in from the Lillia. Taking him down. Nice early kill here from Impact, and because he was so far up the lane, he knew there's not really any way out for him. The lane was pushing away from him. That's why he's moving so aggressively. And when you've committed the Searing Charge and you see the jungler walk in right as you do it, you're like, well, unlucky. There's no getting out of that. Even if you flash, he's on the other side of you with more move speed than with you. So you're dead either way. And in this case, I think Impact was smart to take that.
Ooh, CoreJJ getting involved. Huhi, though, eats the flash binding, I believe. And no Ignite burnt either for CoreJJ. So still has that summoner, but did force a flash of FBI, so a worthwhile trade indeed. As once again, the interior of the turret will be viewed by FBI and huhi.
A very aggressive move there from CoreJJ, which you'd love to see. But even if the binding lands, Cleanse is available for FBI, so I don't think it would have actually resulted in anything more either way. Wasn't close enough to actually go down. And credit to FBI and huhi, who are actually landing so many of these Qs through minions. They're going aggressive now on Tactical.
Yeah, they've got that exhaust. They're going to force the flash. One more auto need. A Black Shield off, and there's huhi with the flash in. They're going to go for it here because Damonte is roaming down. That's going to be a straight up 2v2 kill.
Wow.
The mid laner, but here comes the dive. The root lands as well. Damonte going to clean it up as FBI takes the second.
They outplayed them so hard. This matchup is so difficult for FBI and huhi. And they're not only able to withstand that, they're actually able to find the way in to get that kill. And the Black Shield timing there came out from CoreJJ, but huhi just waited it out and then procced the passive after the Black Shield expired. And because CoreJJ had actually flashed offensively, he couldn't get out as Closer arrived. So incredibly well done. 2,000 gold lead at 6 minutes. Last time they had that at 9. This time it's even better in the early game, so we'll see if Golden Guardians can hold on to this lead and continue pushing it forward.
Yep, going to have to certainly start the snowball rolling, but it is packed up nice at this point in the game. Extremely well played in the 2v2. As we'll see if there's any more action happening. Also great roam from Damonte. Don't always expect the Lucian to be roaming down there, but certainly had the timing there 1v1, and also is keeping even in CS despite getting out of there. He's got a cull now, so he's going to be farming up nicely in the mid lane. Closer now level 6 is going to start grouping up with huhi. This is one of the things we haven't seen as much from huhi, is the ability to get out of the lane and roam, which has been tricky given how often they've been pushed in. But at least getting some time out in the area to see if anyone is in a silly place that he can pick off.
Yep, I mean, this is his second melee support game. The Alistar one, they were kind of relentlessly pushed in. They couldn't find the all-in. This time on the Braum, I thought it was even less likely that they could find an all-in. And honestly, it's just a straight-up outplay. They punished the fact that CoreJJ flashed aggressively. You know, they withstood a lot of the push and poke that TL had there, and you know, find the angle for the engage from huhi, and just really, really well timed around that Black Shield too. That is very tough to win a lane like this. So FBI and huhi really showing their prowess in this bot lane 2v2, and we'll see if it can get them potentially their first win in this series and start that long climb back towards what would be that comeback. You know, they'll have to win 3 straight, and TL, you know, looking to just close it out here and punch their ticket to Worlds.
Yeah, Damonte has never found a best of 5 towards Worlds that he doesn't like. As he's going to go ahead and push down this wave. Doesn't have the blue buff, by the way, because Closer actually going to go ahead and take it, which, you know, you can certainly see makes sense. Has the Runic Echoes already finished from the Stalker's Blade, so going to be some nice damage. Are expecting Leandru somewhere in this build, likely as the second item, but where Lillia goes after that is really up to the Lillia player. So we'll see what jungle Lillia has here for Closer, as we did see a pretty aggressive build from Hauntzer in the last game.
Exactly. You know, I do think we'll see it second. You know, there's potential for going another route if he really feels like that's going to be the play. But Broxah starting up the Rift Herald here. I think with Impact kind of walking over there, they're at least going to check, and they will spot that he is on it, clear out some of this vision, very likely. But Jensen has made the move over. They're looking for the engage.
Ooh, Flash still clips him, and here's Jensen. Double dash in, ready with the chains. Go to sleep, LeBlanc, don't ignite me. No one else follow up. Broxah just takes him down. Very clean work from Team Liquid.
Really nicely done. The move just happened a lot faster from Jensen, who had the push. Damonte wasn't roaming over, so Closer and Hauntzer should have just backed it up. You know, there's no reason that they need to challenge.
Oh, not
all in.
Tactical has got no flash. He's about to get stunned up again. GP ulti's going to seal it as huhi. Going to grab the well-deserved kill, but the follow-up is there. The W lands. No flash for CoreJJ, but the Black Shield is real nice as huhi taking up a few too many tower hits, but he has a stopwatch. No binding here for CoreJJ, so he's going to stay alive as Golden Guardians dual lane gets yet another 2v2 kill.
And seeing as there was no Black Shield until after that play, that tells me that they forced out the Black Shield prior to that, right? That they traded aggressively, got the Black Shield to be used by CoreJJ, and then killed them during that window when it was down. So, again, really nice stuff here from this Golden Guardians bottom lane. This is the bottom lane that really showed up against TSM and made them look silly in a lot of those 2v2s. And now, FBI and huhi in Game 3 here really coming alive and showing they can do it against TL as well.
Jensen trading here as Closer is ready in the mid lane. The E is going to try and tag Jensen, but with Flash and ulti and W likely up, very tough to pin down Jensen, even if the Swell Seed lands. Hauntzer, though, getting some mileage here in the 1v1. Big farm lead here for Impact, but Hauntzer is going to get the barrel kill. Flashes in, needs a little bit more. Oh, and that's enough. Hauntzer just with the style, sit and watches the kill happen.
Oh, he's got the trial by fire passive on him. He knew he had the kill, and he's got the BM recall. Taking a seat on the barrel and watching him burn down. Impact falls for the second time this game, but it is TL, still keeping it close, mind you. 6 minutes, 2,000 gold lead. It's less than that now.
Don't kick me, bro. Oh, Broxah with a nice Q follow-up as well. Hauntzer still trying to get his way out of there, but the oranges aren't available, so the shutdown is there for Broxah, who sweeps in with the Warrior.
And he's actually going to freeze this probably for Impact. So they may lose Dragon on that bottom side, but as funny as it is, Hauntzer might actually get behind off of getting a solo kill because he couldn't push out the wave. So now he's going to lose an entire wave of experience and gold. And Impact is going to end up quite a bit ahead off of the farm. And if he can maintain this freeze longer than that, it gets even worse. So we will see what Impact does decide to do here, and if he's going to be able to extend a good farm advantage off of that nice kill from Broxah.
Hauntzer's completed his Trinity Force, though, so he's
holding the freeze.
He's going pretty naked on this item build, but pretty powerful. But as you mentioned, Impact is going to make life very challenging. At least Closer was able to finish off the Drake, so Golden Guardians, despite not having the pushing bot lane, do at least get the first Dragon. But the sacrifice for Hauntzer's lane, we'll see if it's worth it. I imagine Closer's going to come and try and fix the situation in just a moment. But for now, Hauntzer just has to chill out.
And he should be able to push it out. You know, it's not as though he's doing bad in the lane now. He's still doing great. You know, they got those 2 kills. But he did lose 2 full waves of minions off of that freeze, right? And had Broxah not shown up at that time, he would have been able to reset it and lose nothing. You know, plus he would have been having minions being denied from his opponent. We'll see if the chain can land. Nice sidestep.
Yep, Damonte with the smooth moves as Broxah looking to land a skill shots of his own. Broxah says, this is how it's done, buddy. But no follow-up there.
It's just always interesting, like, how big of a difference those little swing plays can make in top lane, you know, because instead of the wave pushing to you and denying minions from your opponent, you now lost those 2 waves, where Impact probably would have lost 1. So it's like that difference of you having 2 waves denied from you instead of them having 1 denied from them, that's 18 minions, right? Like, that's a tremendous difference off of 1 play, and that, to me, I think illustrates pretty well the power of the freeze. Yeah,
people tell me top lane's playing League of Legends. I think it's actually like a sim management game. There's like lots of little things you have to keep track of because the city falls down real quick if you don't get them under control. But still good play overall in the top side. Curious to see what Hauntzer can do, especially I imagine the gold lead's not that bad with GP having extra money. Solo kill time with a bit of assistance from FBI. Damonte almost opens up the mid lane, but Jensen will be forced to flash and go back to base.
Didn't quite have the angle there on the culling, and FBI not able to land the ultimate as Jensen did flash away, but good aggressive move there from Damonte. You've got to see him keep going at his opponent, and that's kind of what you're signing up for when you look for this style of champion. So you want to see him continuing to play, continuing to go aggressively in there. Broxah just going to show up and drop the Rift Ult. He just wants to cash in on plates before that does fall down. No Bard on the side of Golden Guardians, so cannot deny this. But at least for Golden Guardians, that's just the money on Lee Sin, which is not as though that's worthless, but it's so much better to see it go over to the jungler than on that mid laner.
I've seen this movie a couple times now,
nice
and there's the
sidesteps.
flash from Tactical. Yeah, at least it's going to be forced to use the Summoner, but good moves to make sure CoreJJ was here in time to ensure any follow-up. Still, I like that FBI and huhi are just trying to take advantage of what windows they have in the 2v2. Ooh, that almost looked like it was heading straight for Tactical's feet. It's CoreJJ going to be the next target.
That was just a really good vision play, it looked like, from Golden Guardians. I'm assuming that TL thought huhi was roaming, so CoreJJ went to match. And
Here
now
comes
Closer is behind him.
Oh, get put to sleep. Oh, good slap. Flashes in for the Q. Tactical going to be the target next, and he's got no black shield, no flash, and absolutely no hope of getting out. As it is going to be the double kill there for Lillia, but a big dive in top lane. Hauntzer is deleted by Broxah and Impact.
Yeah, not able to get his ultimate off early enough to try to help clear out that wave or trade anything back, because Impact was tanking it up. So very well done again, trying to punish back here on this top side. But the bigger win did come in that bottom lane, killing off both Tactical and CoreJJ again. 0 and 5 bot lane here fairly early on for TL. They are getting punished for what feels like really the first time in this series. And despite the fact that Tactical did have some fancy feet, some really nice sidesteps, you cannot sidestep those auto attacks once you don't have the flash. No way out of that.
And looks like FBI is actually altering his build a little as well. It's got a Phage right now, so that looks like a Black Cleaver second here for the Senna. This is one of the nice things about Senna. She's like got a lot of good utility, lots of different builds. Also, sometimes she does stuff like this, although Closer deserves a lot of credit here as well.
He does, and he's kind of just wrapping around. They saw CoreJJ walking up into fog, so they kind of know where he's going to be. Q flash there from Closer. Nice sidestep on the W, though. Avoiding that was Tactical. But there's just no way out of that from the situation he was in with no flash available. Then up here on this top side, right over the wall onto Hauntzer. Hauntzer would have just had to immediately drop his ulti, I think, to have any chance before. You know, that even kind of came through on the ultimate redirect. But perhaps is the clone is going to block that up?
Yep, that's the clone. Yeah, pretty intense 1v1 that they were having there, but no one's dead yet. Broxah, though, is camping the left side of the lane, so Damonte could be in some trouble, but Broxah is going to reveal himself, and Damonte surely going to give him a thumbs up as the skill shots do not fly out.
Yeah, and now Closer is behind him, so it would be pretty risky to go for. Broxah does have flash. His kick is now up, so potential to look for something, but TL likely to just back it up and try to pressure. But since he showed up and around that mid lane, Golden Guardians now are just running the bot lane. They have gotten so far ahead with these kills. They are just in a position of power. They are constantly threatening the all-in. They step forward, TL steps back, and they're going to be able to take down this tower here. Golden Guardians bottom lane really on fire.
Oh my god, look at that gold difference.
That's 2,000 almost.
Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous for FBI versus Tacticals. They will get the first tower as a result. Ooh, Jensen finds Damonte sleeping in the shopping center, and he is going to get that kill.
Maybe saw a sale he liked. Caught with the shopping, unfortunately.
BF Sword's on sale, has an Essence Reaver, not worth it, definitely.
Yeah, Rift Herald's going to drop. The second Rift Herald placed mid, so this one should be a tower kill. Post plates, I did not see gold pop there. I don't know if anyone got the local gold. I know that with the Rift Herald, you are guaranteed to get turret plate gold if you do drop that as jungler. I'm actually not certain if you get local gold just from the turret plate, or rather post turret plates, just from having that Rift Herald down, but it didn't look like anyone got that. Either way, Golden Guardians still up over 2,000 gold. But at the very least for TL, they have made this gold lead somewhat stagnate, because remember, it was 2,000 gold at, what was it, 6 minutes this game?
Yep.
And it hasn't actually extended really from there. So, you know, TL doing a good job of trying to minimize loss, of attacking up towards that top lane and not allowing Hauntzer to just snowball the game, because Hauntzer was in a position where you would think, you know, 10 minutes ago, if you actually checked in, you would assume that the CS would be reversed, you know, that he would be up 30 or 40, given that he got those early kills. Yep,
certainly been playing weak side GP though this game and doing well despite the conditions he has put in. We've talked at length about TL, you know, being so good at minimizing losses and just keeping games close and scaling up, but we should just talk about the fact that Golden Guardians, you know, they have a similar lead that they did last game. They have the tools to be proactive, as you see huhi try and jump in there on the tactical. It is more just a matter of Golden Guardians just taking the opportunities afforded to them and being a bit more aggressive with them, especially with this kind of draft. If you are not getting in there with your Ignite Lucian and this many damage dealers, you know, something's amiss with what you're trying to do in this game. And kind of to what Mark said on the desk, where Golden Guardians often indexed early and then couldn't convert late, there is a worry of that happening here, but I do like this look from Damonte. He's trying to go for the 1v1. Broxah's here as well. The kick is going to convert very nicely, but the center shield is going to save him. FBI at least going to get the trade, but Broxah finds kill number 4.
They do get that kill right over on FBI, so pretty well done to come in with the support. They did get the flash off of Broxah and a trade kill, so overall not bad, honestly, for Golden Guardians. They're up on the 2 dragons. It is going to be that Infernal Soul coming out this game, which I think would be pretty good for their composition. I also do really like the Black Cleaver buy here from FBI, and I like the fact that alongside that Black Cleaver from the Senna, that Lucian is not going towards Black Cleaver in the mid lane. You know, doubling up on that, you know, becomes fairly redundant. It's not as though you can get, you know, doubled up on the stacks. So they stack to the same amount and then do not go further past that, no matter how many Black Cleavers you have. So he's going to be shredding armor for Lucian as well as the GP. And that is going to be, I think, a pretty nice setup. Plus, it always just feels good having some solid amount of CDR on the Senna, and Black Cleaver is a great way to grab it.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, kind of like the old double AP of yore, where you split the utility items between the 2 marksmen. Damonte is more of the DPS marks, but he's going to be building more that way. FBI going to be more on the utility side, so he's building a little bit more that way. Dragon in 2 minutes, though, so not quite there just yet, but certainly setting up for that next objective as Golden Guardians look to snowball for the soul.
Yep, and the item completions are much more in the favor of Golden Guardians than they have been in the last couple of games. You know, in the last couple of games, it was all TL members that had like their 2 items coming through for the 3rd dragon fight. Because really, it has felt like, for the most part, the big fight is around 3 dragons. You know, in this series, these 2 teams are playing, you know, relatively towards that kind of snowball towards soul style. TL loves to stack up dragons in general, and you know, oftentimes, you know, if they're playing the kind of scaling compositions, they will just sit back and give up the first 2 and then try to challenge here, as they're going to do in this game. So we'll see how they're going to be able to perform in this 3rd dragon fight, because I do think the Golden Guardians are going to be able to put themselves in a strong position to win the game if they can grab Soul Point this early.
Yeah, I mean, granted, FPI's items are a bit cheaper, but he's the full item ahead of Tactical right now, so he is extremely strong for this upcoming engagement, as Dragon's going to spawn in a minute's time. Hauntzer also building up towards his own Essence Reaver, but double upgraded on items. Impact plus all these systems Broxah has offered has made things tricky. Jensen does not get himself swirl-seated, and now going to dive in onto Damonte. Sleep is going to happen, though. Jensen maybe a little too ambitious, but CoreJJ is rotating in, and Closer, unfortunately, going to burn the ulti for not much else.
Yep, with multiple members coming over there from TL to reinforce, they could not actually engage forward into that. So getting that ultimate off of Lillia, pretty nice. And TL is going to be able to get the first move on push for mid lane. 30 seconds until this dragon fight.
He also burned the Unbreakable, so here comes Impact's ultimate. Who are we going to burn the ulti? I think he knows he's dead. The Senna Shield's going to try and keep him alive for a little while longer, but no luck as the shutdown is going to go over to Tactical. So TL 5v4 now around this next dragon.
Yeah, Golden Guardians just really trying to force it prior to the dragon starting. Now Damonte got a face check here. He could be in trouble.
Yep, there's the combo. Ooh, Broxah's here as well. Jensen's going to dive in. Damonte with a decent calling, but Jensen just going to flash on his face and take him out and pop the emote for good measure.
And TL, just like that, the threat of Soul is pretty much gone, right? Now it's going to be pushed back very late, so you're not really sweating about it at all anymore, given that they are taking the 3rd dragon here around 22 minutes. The earliest possible, you're looking at 32, 34, based on how long the dragons do sit up. And you know, TL is going to have plenty of time for the Ornn items to come through, you know, for multiple items to be completed here by Tactical. You know, Jensen should have a death cap by then, so that they're going to be looking really, really comfortable. And I just think that Golden Guardians kind of overstepped. It felt like they were really trying to force a pick or a fight, you know, prior to the dragon. And I think that they could have just set up for the dragon and taken a fight there, because they have a good gold lead and they have a massive advantage as far as the marksman role right now. You have exhaust on Braum, who's going to be pretty difficult for Jensen to get much done. So I just felt like they weren't playing with confidence. Like they could just take a straight up fight at the dragon and probably win it.
Yeah, it feels like, you know, overreaching in spots they don't need to. Perhaps misreading the game set somewhat, whatever it is. Golden Guardians, they're in a tough situation, right? Down 0-2, they know they have to win every single game in front of them, but the pressure is even higher when you don't have any games left to give away. Team Liquid, we know, are always going to be the stoic, stalwart side. as Damonte is going to catch this wave, and Golden Guardian's just going to have to wait a long time for that soul to reappear on the Rift. So if the game is slowing down, that is double thumbs up for Team Liquid. They love it when the game is played at their pace.
Yeah, that's really kind of where their comfort zone is. And Golden Guardians has been great at getting leads the last 2 games, but hasn't been very good at extending it. Hasn't been always sure like, where to go or when to fight. These types of things, they are often getting preyed on in the side lanes, as we're seeing, Broxah do a good job finding kills on this Lee Sin. To his credit, we saw when Hauntzer got a massive advantage on the Lillia, it was Broxah getting great picks on him in those side lanes, and then this game, being able to make it happen again.
FBI trying to get very aggressive, which I like to see, but he's forced to flash away thanks to the ulti out of Impact. The Tactical certainly under threat. It's actually an RFC finish now for the Senna as well. FBI is going to heal up by spamming a couple Qs out, but no summoners now for FBI around the next engagement.
No flash, no cleanse, makes you very vulnerable to a kick flash there from Broxah. A little bit of an awkward spot here for huhi. Should be able to hop back to his team. Golden Guardians just saying, all right, we're going to group up, and they're going to try to use some of the poke here in their composition. Lillia is actually fairly good at sieging, just poking away with those swirl seeds, but they're going pretty far forward.
Impact is very tanky, but not tanky enough. He's almost dead, but somehow he lives through every single bit of kit in the Golden Guardians lineup. And they keep their tower as well. Jensen was also topside just in case he was needed, but he's going to go straight back to pushing those towers. The Golden Guardians start to feel like a little bit of desperation in this mid-game.
Wanted to try to get something done. I don't think they feel comfortable sending anyone to match the LeBlanc right now. They have been kind of getting preyed on in the sidelines, as I was discussing the last couple of games. Broxah doing a good job picking on Hauntzer, and Damonte has gotten killed off in a side lane a couple times now. So I think they're worried about anyone who goes up to match this LeBlanc, and as a result, they're saying, all right, let's group it up. Let's try to kind of death ball a bit here, see if we can force something. They almost kill off Impact, but not quite. And as a result, Jensen just going to be able to push in the wave top lane for free, get a bit of a farm advantage there for himself, and does now have that death cap completed. Unfortunately, they actually upgraded the Luden's Echo, which, when you're building towards the death cap, it's just so much more of an effective Ornn item to upgrade. So really, Impact should have held off until that completed and not actually spent it on that Luden's Echo, a minute or two early, because it's not even like, if there's like a huge fight and it's like do or die, I get it. But I don't even think he interacted with champions, during that window.
Yeah, I don't think so either. So, small mistake, but Jensen's still feeling good about where he's at. Perhaps chiding Impact for his on passive usage. Also, like the Hauntzer's caught up, right? He's been the one kind of catching these side waves. He's evened up the CS discrepancies on the way to item 3, which is Leandry's, which is real spicy, but very nice for Gangplank.
Yeah, it's become kind of like the new third item that is getting pretty common. It's very popular because, of the interaction with the ultimate. The slow applied by the ultimate is getting you the extra burn on Leandry's. Obviously, it's fairly easy to stack up to 10% there with the ultimate ticks as well as barrel chains too. So it does make for like a super powerful ultimate, and just the madness passive even is going to help your physical damage.
I like that Leandry's has perhaps, changed its tagline from sometimes people buy this to Leandry's, good on everything. Because it's the list of champions that want to build this item just seems to keep increasing. FBI though, going to pop the mist to try and get huhi in range. CoreJJ is the target, but the binding will come through as he kites his way out of there. Oh goodness, that's a 2-man knockup if I've ever seen one. See you later, duo lane, as that's going to be 2 quick ones for the bottom side of TL, and now the Impact ulti's going to find 2 Team Liquid, who's taken over the team fight. Damonte popped by Jensen. Closer will be followed on by Broxah, and Broxah does the kick on Hauntzer right before he can kill Lillia, so he's going to ensure at least the 4 kills. Closer is going to live, but just barely, as Team Liquid completely destroy that fight.
Jensen's going to go hunting, and they're going to be on Baron in the meantime. Closer has taken the safe path back, but if he was trying to stay away for a steal, Jensen would have found him. So Team Liquid, just like that, full control of the game. They claw their way from behind into the lead. They're going to grab Baron, and we'll see if they can just go straight over towards the Infernal as well. Golden Guardians would love to try to sneak away that Infernal to try to give themselves some hope of a win condition here. Put themselves at that soul point. But with home guards plus the Baron recall, I think TL is actually going to have their 5 members there fast enough to probably contest.
Yeah. Also, Majai's now for CoreJJ, so he's feeling it for sure. Get some value out of the Dark Seals. Golden Guardians are going to TP in to try and finish off this dragon as quick as they possibly can. Here comes Ornn, though Impact is ready. Arrow is out. Does hit one. The dragon goes over, but what's the result afterwards? Huhi going back towards his teammates. Impact is closing in. Does get slowed up by huhi, but now going to get the knock on, but Jensen just destroys the poor squishy fawn in the front line. That is Lillia dead. That is Broxah unstoppable. Taking down the second as huhi falls as well. And TL might have lost the dragon. It's tactical. Not enough cannons. Not enough. What are they? Cannonball? Yeah, not enough cannonballs to the cannon for Hauntzer. As tactical will live. Alrighty, let's watch this again.
So this is way back to the previous engage. CoreJJ getting him in range to speed up Tactical so we can kite it out. And then watch Tactical sneak the Ashe arrow around the edge to kill off FBI. He landed the stun on him, bending the bullet around that Braum, which meant the Senna ultimate didn't even complete casting. He goes down immediately. Broxah getting behind Hauntzer, kicking him in. Beautifully done. Broxah has had a strong series for TL, and then because they got those kills over by the Dragon Pit, the push is on. The inhibitor tower is already down mid lane. Jensen is wrapping around behind you, and check out the items on Jensen and Tactical. They could just end the game potentially here if they get these kills.
They're going for it. Tactical's exhausted, by the way, and he's still almost killing huhi as he just barely doesn't have enough arrows in the quiver to knock him down. They are going to break through the middle section of the base, though. That Red Bull Baron is doing work for these minions here. They've got a minute left to make it happen. I'll take down the inhibitor. Oh, goodness. That was unreal for Jensen. That was the ulti, to be perfectly clear, but almost takes out 3 with one activation of his W, or ultimated W, and Golden Guardians got some big old holes in their base right now.
That was just one W. You know, imagine if he had Flash and did a double distortion. That's just 3 dead members. I mean, check out all the magic resist over on Golden Guardians, because it's not a lot. You know, it's a couple pairs of boots, and that's it. So with how strong Jensen is, you know, one combo is instant death for really anyone. Hauntzer, Damonte, FBI, you know, any of those guys, if they just get WQR'd with a double Q, they're just dead. Now Hauntzer caught out here. This has happened a lot this series. He is going down. Yeah, I mean, he wants his farm. He's going to try and get it, but he pays the price. As 3 people do gank him successfully. Jensen also getting the minions guided up towards this top tier 2. That'll be going pretty quickly. Jensen actually just playing back. Baron buff range, as you can tell, very long to empower that cannon, so Jensen doesn't even need to hang out beside the tower. They're going to break this bottom side as well, as it's a 5v4 still, even though it is technically a 4v4 right now in the base. Not really one that Golden Guardians fancy trying to get in on, because they're still down 7,000 gold. Yep, and Jensen, with all that AP, he's going to kill off that top lane tower. A couple autos, won't take him long, and then the 3rd inhibitor is actually exposed. You know, while we saw that kill on the bottom side, Jensen almost killed Damonte off on the top side. He lived with 5-10% health, maybe. And it's triple inhib for TL, and they are now a hair's breadth away from securing their world spot and from sweeping Golden Guardians. Yeah, from 9th back towards and potentially back for another LCS trophy. Team Liquid looking so clean in this series. They look to take down the final touches of the Golden Guardians base. That Nexus Tower is looking unhealthy, and Golden Guardians probably going to have to make their stand fairly soon, but Close is getting chunked out as Jensen is just putting his body on the line for these picks. As Impact going to redirect the ulti and barely miss Damonte. FBI trying to fend them off here. They're going to go after Tactical. Is looking a bit low. Impact also in the front side is going to get rooted up, and the CC will continue. Impact is going to get locked up. He's searing charges away, but it's not enough. There's a knock up there. They're going to find 2. Not bad for Golden Guardians, but it just seems too late. But at least they keep Team Liquid out of the base. They do prevent the game from ending, so well done for them there. And they have some decent wave clears, so potentially they can hang on a little bit here. But when TL does respawn, it's going to be difficult. And they're going to respawn prior to that next Infernal coming up. Golden Guardians, I feel like you basically just have to all in and pray you somehow get that Infernal Soul, but you know, maybe those hang back and try to give up the next dragon and say, maybe we can just wave clear it out and wait for those inhibitors to respawn. Because as you can see in the inhibitor timers in that bottom right, it's going to be quite a few minutes before they do go down. Here's the replay around these Nexus turrets. Tactical takes a turret shot. Damonte stepping forward with the culling, roasting him up, and then Hauntzer just drops the ultimate on his head. They don't have quite enough damage to actually burst him down, as Broxah came in with the safeguard trying to protect him, but Impact is getting focus fired. CoreJJ gets caught by that Braum ultimate from huhi, allowing them to clean up a quick 2 kills. And good snipe actually from Closer to set up huhi there with the ulti. Lillia's really sweet champion to watch.
Probably very unfun to play against. But unfortunately for Golden Guardians, going to need a lot more. And again, there are no second chances left for Golden Guardians. They must win this game and the rest if they want to stay in contention for that guaranteed slot at Worlds. They're going to lose this Dragon, but I think this was a foregone conclusion. Golden Guardians going to play for something different.
So, I mean, I respect this call. I think it's tough, though, because I don't, like, it makes sense, right? You know, if you go out and TL make you waste time, then you have 3 waves of inhibitors, you know, already down and so many super minions coming in. But if you give up Baron, I just feel like it's just 100% pretty much over, because 6 super minions coming into your base at a time with a Baron buff, you just don't even have the wave clear to deal with that, plus the enemy champions, and that's kind of the problem. So Golden Guardians are going to have to try to way back in their base. When TL comes in, I feel like you almost have to engage immediately and try to kill him off really, really quick, and that's your only hope. Otherwise, TL will just corral in all these super minions, and Golden Guardians won't even be able to wave clear them out.
Yeah, Jensen's already getting the first pair escorted in with that Baron buff, and it takes 3 champions to keep them away from the Nexus Tower, but they do so successfully. They also only have 1 Nexus Tower left. It is regenerating quite quickly. There's one of the benefits of those towers, but they... Again, there's not much left for Golden Guardians to defend, so they're likely going to look now for some sort of engage, but the swell speed just short there of TL.
Yeah, now it's the 3 waves in the base at the same time. This is where it gets impossible, where TL just has to stand there and wait, and the Nexus turret's already dead just to the minions. Now the Nexus is open. Here they go.
It is opened up. The fight is going to begin, but Impact with the ulti ready to go. Doesn't connect. Actually, Damonte's chasing down Jensen, almost able to get that kill, but Closer has to kite things out. Impact is tanking everybody up, but Damonte, he's trying to save his team. CoreJJ low. Broxah now going to get stunned up and shut down as Golden Guardians. They're actually going to hold here. They're going to keep their base alive as they take down Impact as well.
Damonte popping off. It is Tanner time in the base. As he goes forward, he pushes back Jensen. He almost takes down Tactical. Got so much damage out in what was essentially functioning like a 1v3 back there. Damonte just had an absolute pop-off fight, allowing the rest of Golden Guardians to kind of section off multiple members of the front line and kill off Broxah and Impact. Well, the rest of their team just ran away. So, you know, watch Damonte here find his moment. Jensen steps forward. He used the Distort already. The tower is down, so they know they need to find some way to go. And then the fight starts off. Damonte, 2 autos, both crit, straight in onto Jensen. Flash forward, another crit. Ignite goes down, so he's out of the fight. Then the culling over onto Tactical. He has the QSS for the speed to run away. CoreJJ trying to zone him out. He gets roasted up too. Then Damonte proccing the Braum stun, taking down that Lee Sin. That was an incredible fight from Damonte, circumventing the front line, getting into the back line. Hero play keeps them alive. And with the inhibitors coming back up, there is a slim chance they can make something happen. If they can continue to hold, if they can get this next dragon, you know, maybe they can secure the Infernal Soul and start to climb their way back in. But obviously going to be a very uphill battle when they have 1 tower taken down from their opponents and they've lost all 11.
I mean, they weren't supposed to not lose the game there, so again, really nice work from Golden Guardians with Damonte being the big hero to keep this game alive. Top inhibitors respawn, so at least there is a very fragile layer of protection around the Nexus, which has no towers now in front of it. But the game is still going, and that's what Golden Guardians are looking for. I've got 5 ultis up. I'm expecting Golden Guardians to pull the trigger pretty quickly. Impact though going to go in first. Damonte kiting back, but Impact going to be the target. He's going to get stunned up. The CC chains are pretty long here, but there's a Senna ulti to protect who he's forced to flash out. But Impact, here comes the closer. Perhaps the ulti is good, knocks up 2, but Tactical going to get rooted as Broxah going to try and make something happen. Damonte don't want a killing spree. He's taken out CoreJJ, but they lost closer in the process, as it's jungler v jungler violence.
Tactical's got to be close because he's fairly low here. You know, a couple auto attacks he could go down, a barrel he could go down. And TL sticking around with low health bars. They're trying to keep the pressure on. They want to knock down these inhibitors once more, but Damonte and FBI, full health. Hauntzer out here too. Impact's very low, and now huhi has healed back up. So we'll see if they try to go in here.
Yeah, almost a guarantee there. huhi, the only frontlaner they really have, still a killer for the clone. Broxah actually doing a nice job being a distraction here, forcing Hauntzer to go ahead and address these other waves, and he will threaten an inhib. He's actually pretty strong right now on the Lee Sin, so Hauntzer's going to kick him out of the map. 40 seconds till the soul is up again for Golden Guardians. They maybe have some space to push this out and find some central control of the map, but despite 2 separate pushes into the base with no towers at all for Golden Guardians, they are holding on to this game.
They're playing it really well, and so much credit deserved by Damonte, I think, in that one major fight, and then again, the whole squad playing well to push TL back. But the problem is, you know, even if you go out to contest this, you don't know where Jensen's going to be. Jensen could actually just run it straight down into your base. He could just knock down the inhibitor really, really quick. So again, Golden Guardians are saying, all right, we're just going to give this one up. But I guess my concern with this is if you're not going to go now, when are you going to go, right? Because the inhibitor towers are never coming back. The Nexus towers are never coming back. And now TL is at Soul Point. You have given that one over freely. So maybe the call is contest at the Baron. But, you know, you've got to have some sort of game plan on when you're going to leave your base, because no matter how many times you defend the base, like, you got to get out on the map and get some forward movement, because if the minion waves aren't in your favor, you never get anything afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't lost yet, but I think with Elder Dragon / Soul / Baron, it's going to be a lot trickier for Golden Guardians to hold off the assault that will be incoming. 57 seconds now to the Baron is spawning. Hauntzer has 4 items, FBI has 4 items, Damonte has approaching 5. So they certainly have the gold to get it done. It's just everything else not looking so good. And I don't know if they have really enough resources to push far enough to even get to the Baron, but they might just have to run past the mini wave and cross their fingers, because, again, there aren't that many good avenues right now. Tactical, you'll be fine, but it is scary to just let yourself be potentially slept.
Well, CoreJJ is behind him, so you can always black shield that.
That's true.
I do believe. I assume it works the same way as the Zoe sleep, where
yes,
during that countdown you should be able to sleep it up and black shield it. But I agree, and it's so scary for Golden Guardians, and I understand never wanting to leave your base because you know they could just backdoor you. But at the same time, if you never leave the base, you'll never win the game. So you've got to make a call at some point to play to win, right? And playing to win in this case means moving outside of the base, looking for an objective, looking for some sort of true win condition. You can't just sit back forever. We'll see, though. If they can get a pick in the side lane, like if Damonte could kill LeBlanc here, right? Then maybe you have a way to kind of more confidently move forward. But that would take a mistake, I think, from Jensen.
Certainly would. Hauntzer also trying to get some barrels going. Impact again, going to be the recipient of some CC, but none of the stuns land, so they can't continue the chain. Golden Guardians are setting things up. Hauntzer is trying to get these barrels into some very sneaky spots, but huhi is going to be assaulted now as Impact going to get it going. Good. Glacial Fissure actually prevents, no, just barely misses the chance on Impact to get the ulti back around, but the dive is happening in for Closer. He's trying to sleep the rest of the team. Jensen going unstoppables. Golden Guardians still fighting out here, but FBI ate so much damage as Broxah dives in to try and finish it up, but Jensen, he's found himself the double. Impact is low. Hauntzer is so strong, but he's going to fall as he can't dive 1v4 for the rest of TL. So now it's the 2 marksmen only.
Look at their health bars.
FBI left alone as FBI, he's low, but he's going to get over by Jensen. I think that's going to be it as FBI, he's got to cut it out. He gets the kill, but it's not enough. The ace and the game will go to Team Liquid, despite all the effort Golden Guardians put in, but they have nothing, no one left to defend with now, as Team Liquid are going to finish up the series 3-0, book that final upper bracket appearance with FlyQuest, book that ticket to Worlds, and look to take another trophy once again, as Golden Guardians will fall to Team Liquid.
Such a good turn there in the final moments from TL.